Hello and welcome to Love Lingerie. In today's tutorial we will be showing you how to sew or attach elastic to some fabric. There are many different types of elastic, and if you love making lingerie such as knickers or bras or bralettes, then this is the tutorial for you. I will be showing you how to attach a picot elastic to some fabric which I have in front of the sewing machine, and it has a delicate little detail at the top here. So as I have mentioned, this is a picot elastic. It has the little detail along the top there, the shiny part. So this is the right side facing and this is the wrong side. This is approximately a 10 centimeter or 10 millimeter piece of picot elastic. I have cut my size of fabric to the size that I require, and as you can see I've extended the picot just out approximately a centimetre or two on either side. That's so that when I place it under the foot of the machine and I'm ready to start sewing, I can stretch the fabric. Because if you would like a stretch or a bit of a gather to your underwear, then stretching it is the best way to achieve that. However, there are other ways. If you prefer a flat finish, then you don't need to stretch the elastic. So I'm just going to pin the elastic now to the fabric, and how we do that is we turn the right face to the front face, so face to face or right sides together as they otherwise say, and we're going to pin the edge flush to the edge of the fabric. So that is the edge of the elastic flush to the edge of the fabric. So as you can see, I now have my fabric and my elastic pinned together. It's placed underneath the foot of the machine, and I have also brought the needle down into the fabric ready to start sewing. I'd just like to mention at this point that I do like to start off at a slow speed initially, just to get the fabric moving through the foot. Then I start to speed up. I've got my machine set to a normal zigzag stitch at this stage, and I have the stitch length set at number 3, and I have the stitch width set at 3.5. I've got a little bit of picot tucked out the back of the foot, which I will be stretching in a moment, and I've also got the elastic ready to stretch out the front. So you're going to be stretching as the fabric's moving through the machine. You're going to be stretching or pulling from the back and pulling from the front, so using both hands. with a little bit of reinforcement. So I've now trimmed up the edge along the back there to make sure that there's nothing left over, and you just get a nice smooth edge across the edge there. You can see the zigzag stitch there along the edge of the elastic, or along the center of the elastic. You can also see that as I've stretched out the elastic, I now have far more on the end here than I did before. So I'm just going to trim that up a little bit and get rid of some of that. Now for the good part, we're now going to turn the elastic over, or flip it over. So that's the reason why when we attach the elastic, we always put the fabric and the elastic right sides together. That's so that when we turn it over and we then top stitch along there, we can see the nice pretty little detail that is going to poke out the side. So I'm just going to pin that now. So as I've explained before, we've now flipped the elastic over to the underside so that it looks like that on the wrong side, and we've now got the little pretty picot along the edge of the fabric there. So what we're going to do now is we're now going to top stitch over the top here. So, and we will use a 3-step zigzag stitch for that, and a 3-step zigzag stitch looks like this. So this is the 3-step zigzag stitch, and you can see why it's called that, because it's got 3 stitches going one way and then down the other, that way and then that way. So that's a 3-step zigzag stitch, and that is what we use to top stitch over the top of elastic. And so there we have the nice picot decorative part along the edge of the fabric there. We've got the little zigzag stitch, or the 3-step top stitch, or zigzag stitch along the top stitch there. So that is the good side, and then we turn over to the other side and we can see that we've got both the zigzag, which is the first zigzag I put on when I first started, and here's the other 3-step zigzag stitch along the edge here, and what we're slightly looking for is we want the stitch to slightly overlap that edge so that it connects with the fabric. So that's the right side, that's the wrong side. That's how you attach picot elastic or knicker elastic or lingerie elastic, as it's can be known, to any of your lingerie items that you choose to make, or your DIY projects for yourself. As I'd mentioned before earlier, that you can stretch the elastic as I showed you during this session to get that slightly gathered effect if that's what you prefer or would like. Otherwise, an option is one that I have made earlier, that I used some crushed velvet. I've also used a different type of elastic along here which is more decorative, and you can see that that is a much flatter finish. The zigzag stitch is along the edge there, and on the opposite side we have both the zigzag stitch where I've attached the elastic and done the top stitch as well, but that gives the flatter finish compared to the gather finish, if that's what you would prefer. So that ends our session for today. I'd just like to say thank you for watching my tutorial. I hope you've enjoyed it and found some useful tips and hints. I look forward to seeing you all again next time for my next tutorial, which is how to shear with elastic thread, which also gives a nice gather effect. You'll see that on dresses, for smocking, and even on cuffs of sleeves on blouses and things like that. So don't forget to like or leave a comment or subscribe to my channel. See you next time. Have a great day.